Shelton from Florida men's tennis has decided to turn pro. To explain how good Ben Shelton is recently in the pros, 171 in the world in singles and 516 in doubles. And he made it far last week in the Western Southern Open. He even beat a top 5 player in Casper Ruud. Yes, he lost the next match to Cameron Norrie, a former TCU player from 5 years ago. But, I mean, he beat a top 5 player in the world. And not only that, he almost beat John Isner in Atlanta Open. And he's been on the rise. And I've been saying, not on here, but on social media and in person as well, I think he's going to turn pro. Because I don't know what else he needs to do to prove his game. He won an NCAA singles title. He was the one that actually claimed the national championship over Charlie Broome against Baylor in 2021. You know, with this loss for Florida, it's a big blow. First of all, they lose all 6 singles players in the singles lineup from last year. All 6 of them. That started consistently. Second of all, they only bring back 1 guy in the doubles lineup. Expect a massive drop-off. Expect it. Yes, they got a Notre Dame transfer. That's court 1. But he is not even close to Ben Shelton. Ben Shelton won an NCAA singles title last year. So, the only thing he could have done, really, I think, is to win an NCAA doubles title. But that's not going to happen. Obviously. And the thing is, why would you risk that? Especially right now, you're up to 171 in the world. And they do have, that's the grad transfer. They do have Lucas Graf as a senior. That, though he's like bottom, I don't know what they're going to do in terms of singles lineup for Florida now. They have 9 players still. 9 players, really. Actually, 8 guys. But still. They don't have a lot of depth. First of all, they don't. And second, I have no idea who's going to be even number 2 singles for them right now. Let alone the doubles lineup. I expect this team for Florida to take a huge step back. They would be lucky to be even in a Sweet 16 next year. In next year's NCAA tournament, from the Elite 8 onward, by the way, it's in Orlando, Florida, which is close to Gainesville, Florida. So I don't see them going back to the Elite 8. I don't. On my way too early. I don't see that happening. I don't. To me, they would be lucky for Sweet 16. They would be lucky. But I could even see round of 32 being their max. Or round of 64 being their max. So I really just don't see them as an Elite 8 team. I don't. It's whether or not can they go to the NCAA tournament is the biggest question. Because they play in the SEC, and the SEC is one of the toughest conferences in the country in this sport. So, you know, it is what it is, and we'll see how much of a rankings perspective will they drop once the spring starts, of course. Because in the fall, it's just like singles and doubles tournaments, even some hidden duel matches that don't count. So, you know, and they do have 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 1 junior, 1 senior, and 1 grad senior. I have no idea who's going to be 2 through 6 for them. To me, it's obvious. I would put the grad transfer for Notre Dame at 1. But after that, I have no idea. But maybe even he's not even the one. Should be court 1. It just depends on how these freshmen gel and how the other players look. Because I just don't have an earthly idea what to expect. But I just know they're going to take a step back. I mean, you lose that many guys in 1 year, they're going to take a step back. There's no question. I mean, losing as starters, that many starters, you could lose 5 players, but one of them could be just a singles lineup only, or 2 of them. But like I said, we'll wait and see. And I know they do actually have released their schedule, which I'm not going to go with the fall. But they play Texas, match number 1 in Gainesville. I expect Texas to win that match, and if Texas doesn't, I don't know what to think. They play UCF. I think UCF is going to be better, but I'm not sure how much better. These 2 teams are about the same level, I think. Obviously, there's ITA kickoff weekend. They play South Florida. You never know about that one. And a consolation match, which is either going to be SMU or Mississippi State, or like for the championship, just to get to national indoors. I don't know if they're going to make the national indoors now. I'm not sure. I really, really am not sure. Because I think Mississippi State could knock them off. Or even USF could beat Florida, but I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Then they'll play Florida State February 2nd. And then February 4th and 5th is like Pac-12. I don't know who they're going to play. But we'll have to wait and see. Then there's a national indoors in Chicago, February 17th through February 20th. Then the SEC plays begins. For the most part, they have Mississippi State on the road. So they're not only going to play them once, they're going to play them twice. They got LSU on the road as well, and I think LSU is going to improve a little bit, but I'm not sure about how much. Alabama, I don't know what to think, at home. They even play TCU as a non-conference match at home on March 14th. Alabama is March 12th. So I expect TCU to beat Florida. I expect that. It's a matter of how big, in my eyes. Both teams have the same issue, depth. But TCU has more talent and more proven than Florida right now. Ole Miss on March 16th, who knows about that one? That on the road at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, I don't know if they're going to be an NCAA tournament team or not, but if they want to be, they probably need to win that match. They have Arkansas at home March 24th in Gainesville. And Arkansas has got a new head coach. Arkansas could improve, but I'm not sure how much will they improve. Or if any. Auburn. At home, March 26th. Auburn's a team that's good enough, I think, that could knock off Florida. I think so. At Texas A&M, April 1st. A&M's going to improve. They're bringing back a lot of players. A lot. So, then they host on April 7th, they host Tennessee. That's a rivalry, but I expect Tennessee to beat Florida. It's way too early, I know, to tell. On April 9th, they play Georgia. If Georgia has Ethan Quinn on their roster, I think Georgia is a more talented team and better than Florida right now, so I'll go Georgia. They even host Kentucky. And I think on April 14th, I think Kentucky beats Florida. I do now think that. They were very, very close. 4-3 last time in Lexington. South Carolina on the road on April 16th. I think South Carolina could beat Florida, but we'll have to wait and see. So, as you can tell, there's going to be more losses on the schedule for Florida men's tennis next year. I mean, it's obvious they're going to take more losses than they did the last 2 years combined. Yes, I'm including the 2021 season when they won a national championship. Yes, I'm including that. So, I know South Carolina lost their court one as well. So those two teams are even, but I think I give the slightest of edge to South Carolina. But it's just we'll have to wait and see how both teams play out through the year and in the fall as well. So I just want to go over the schedule and the recent news about Ben Shelton, as well as like the roster breakdown. And granted, they could bring in somebody else. It could before the spring, but we'll have to wait and see. But my way too early, I don't see them as an Elite 8 team for sure. They would be lucky for Sweet 16, like I said. So they could very well be in around a 32 or 64 and be eliminated, or even not make the NCAA tournament. So it's really a broad range from not NCAA tournament to maybe Sweet 16 or around 32 at best. Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. It's going to be 400 subscribers or more by the end of this year.